The 90-day challenge entails, not scrolling on your phone, not watching Netflix, staying focused on the tasks and what I want to create in my life. The first day was fucking hard. I've been craving food like a motherfucker, looking for distractions, feeling a touch off, a little foggy, and I'm already questioning why I'm doing this. Having tons of self-doubt and low energy. The whole reason that we're doing this is we're going to push through these 90 days. We're going to see how much my life changes in 90 days. For today, now we already outlined how to set goals and to set smart, attainable goals. And then we've also gone over the next step of addressing our strengths and weaknesses. And myself, I'm really good at getting things done when I decide to do them, but I'm also not so good at staying focused all the time. I allow myself to get distracted. So I've identified a few areas for personal growth, and maybe tomorrow we'll go over what those areas are. But now today, moving on to the next step of making your life better and working towards who you want to be every day. I think time management is a definitely a priority. So when it comes to time management, we got to set daily schedules, and we got to stay committed to them. You need a daily schedule. You need to have a plan for each day. You need to sit down at the end of the night. You need to make a plan for your next day. You need to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like doing. If you live your life just doing what you feel like doing, you'll just end up like everybody else, living a mundane, boring life. And I do not accept a normal, boring life. I do not want to live one of these stupid lives. I'm choosing the reality I wish to live in, and we're going to manifest greatness in our life. I hope you guys follow the steps here provided in this stream and you start changing your life too. You need to set a daily schedule every night. Let's take some time. Let's take half an hour every night before we go to bed, and let's set some tasks for the next day. And then we need to prioritize those tasks. And then we need to, after we prioritize the tasks, we need to work through the task list each and every day. If you have any sort of productivity tools that you can use, if you can have any tools that help you attain those goals, maybe an app on your phone or something of the sort, then go ahead and use those. And we also need to avoid time wasting activities. So things like scrolling on fucking your TikTok or watching Netflix, those are all time-wasting activities. Those are so useless. If you're trying to do something in your life, stop scrolling and stop watching Netflix. I know you want to give yourself a reward at the end of the night, but start to delay the gratification of each day longer and longer. Me, myself, right now, I'm trying to delay any sort of gratification or self-rewarding activities. I'm trying to delay any self-rewarding activities to 90 days from now. I'm going to live 90 days of my life without being like, oh, I deserve to have a drink today, or I deserve to smoke some weed, or I deserve to hang out with my friends. No. For 90 days of my fucking life, I'm only going to do what the best actions every day are going to do. My only little bit of escape, I guess, leisure activity is going to be playing chess. I think playing chess is a super beneficial thing to do. If you decide to play chess in your life and you decide to add it to your daily routine, I think it'll benefit you in lots of ways. And the reason that I say that is because chess is one of the only games out there that really demonstrate self-accountability. When you play chess, the only way that you're going to lose a game is if you make a mistake. If you're not paying attention enough, if you're not really thinking through what you're doing, that is the only way you will lose. So a game like chess is super beneficial if you do need an activity or a leisure activity to add into your day while you're starting to grow and become the man that you want to become. I definitely support people playing chess. I think it's one of the best games out there. My dad taught me how to play it. I got some cool chessboards. So for me, that's one thing that I'm going to do. First 26. So we've gone over the first two lessons that I've learned in the 26 years of my life. Go over them again really quick. The first lesson that I learned in my 26 years of living is that I know nothing. I actually got this statement from my father. My father taught me that the day that you realize that you know nothing is the day that you finally learn something. Every time I continue to learn or grow with my journey, I learned that the things that I thought were true aren't true. Now I live my life thinking that I know nothing, and it's benefited my life in a few different ways. So when you go into a conversation thinking that you know nothing, you're not going to try to push your opinion down somebody's throat. You're not going to sit there and wait for the opportunity for you to speak. You're just going to be a participant in conversations, which kind of leads into the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time you should be listening, and 20% of the time you should be talking. The more information that you can get out from the people around you, the more that you are winning. So if you go into every situation thinking that you know nothing, not only is it going to benefit how people perceive you or how your conversations go or anything of the sort, it's just going to make your life a little bit better and a little bit easier, because you're not going to be defending these things in your life or these principles that you live your life on. You're not going to live in a state of defense thinking that everybody needs to think the way that you think. The second thing that I learned in my 26 years is brotherhood. Brotherhood is probably the most valuable relationship you can create in your lifetime. If you're a man out there, you need to find other like-minded men to band together that are going to support you and, you know, call you a bitch when you're being a bitch. They're going to help you do the things that you need to do. If my brother decides to go to the fucking gym and I don't go to the gym, I feel like a fucking pussy. Brotherhood is probably the only lasting relationship that you can create in your lifetime as a man. So I suggest that everybody out there goes and finds like-minded individuals or friends and bands together and supports them to like complete their goals. Now, the third lesson that I've learned in my 26 years, it's always better to address any situation in a nice or a calm manner unless it's some sort of life-threatening situation. So I know myself anyway, it's really easy to get worked up about things. It's really easy to get excited, and it is easy to say things that maybe we don't necessarily mean all of the time. I know it's really easy to live your life in a reaction basis, but you have to think about every situation as if it's a test in your life. Every situation in your life is a test. Every time that something comes up into your life and you want to react and blah, 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 and fight or argue or tell somebody what you think, it's a test. The world around you, the way that you create the reality around you, it's about how you react to every situation. So if you keep reacting to situations in a fear-based manner or an angry way, what you're doing is you're telling the reality around you how you're responding to that. You're telling them what vibration you're sitting in. Just remember, every time that a situation comes up in your life, do your best to respond to it in a positive way. If something negative is happening in your life and you respond to it as maybe there's a blessing behind this, or maybe there's good coming from behind this, not only will the situation be less stressful, but you're telling the world around you that, no, this is not the reality that I accept. I don't accept being angry. I don't accept a shitty existence. That would be the third lesson of my life. And tomorrow, I guess we'll move on to lesson number 4. Okay, so we're going to get into a couple reaction videos here today. The train derailment in Ohio. And I've got a couple of people asking me to go a little bit further with that investigation and try to get to the bottom of where the train was going, what the chemicals were actually for, and so on and so forth. When we broke down the train derailment, we found out that the train company, the news companies, and Netflix had also had a film about a train derailment in Ohio, pretty well about what's going on right now. We found out all of those companies were owned by Vanguard Group and BlackRock. I had a couple people in the comments saying, well, is this a joke? Vanguard Group and BlackRock own everything. Yeah, they do own a lot. And that's the whole reason that we were making this video, because a lot of people don't know that the Vanguard Group and BlackRock own fucking everything. The world is a monopoly. Anytime that there's some sort of pressure on the Vanguard Group, they sell some of the shares of the company to BlackRock. So now BlackRock owns 51%, the Vanguard Group owns 49%. There's a lot of crazy things that are going on in the world around us. We don't talk about these things in the world to live in a state of fear or to have a negative outlook on the world around us. We talk about these things just to help other people start opening their eyes to the things around them. We are a good, positive force on the world. This page in this stream, we are here to be a positive outlet for people to come to. We're a place so we can build a community of people to support each other. We are not here to scare anybody or dive down conspiracy theories. Sometimes we're going to talk about things that are a little bit unsettling. Sometimes we're going to talk about things that are hard to talk about. The reason that we talk about these things is because, I'm interested in a lot of these things. And this stream is kind of my little escape at the end of the night. This is what I like to do. I like to look at these things. I like to talk about these things. And it's not to make anybody scared about the world around them or nervous about what's going to happen. I mean, we've got stuff like Project Bluebeam that looks like it's fucking in the works right now. There's lots of crazy things that it seems like the government's doing. Ever since this jab that everybody got in their arm, the world has been a little bit of an intimidating place and nobody really knows what's going on. Andrew has said it's about to be have-yots and have-nots. So we don't go over these things to scare people and make people worried about what's going to happen. We do this to inspire people, to let them know that unless you figure out a way to make some fucking money in your life, unless you figure out a way to start living the life that you want to live, you are going to be stuck a slave forever. The only way to not be a slave, unless you grew up in a family that is going to pass down generational wealth, the only way to make it somewhere in your life is if you fucking nut up, shut up, and get to it. We can't waste our fucking time. I'm somebody that's super guilty for this. I wasted a lot of time in my life. I fucking partied a ton. I made tons of money early in my life. Thought I was some untouchable young man that can do whatever he wants and the world will just take care of me. And through that ignorant, naive thought process, I then lost everything in my life and have had to rebuild everything from the ground. I mean, we're doing good again. We're on our way up. I'm not super stressed about the outcome of what's going to happen in my life. I know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I want to pass that lesson on to people. To not waste your fucking time. Don't do it. Make a fucking list of goals, priorities, and fucking start attaining the things that you want in your life. Stop accepting the general mundane bullshit. Stop sitting around smoking weed, jerking off, fucking paying for OnlyFans. Stop that nonsense. Let's go do something with our lives, my friend. If you guys want to join the community, we got our Discord server being worked on right now. It'll be up and running soon. We're going to do a lot of cool things. We're going to build a lot of cool communities, and hopefully we can help young men come together to be able to build some cool businesses. Right now in the world, we are in an interesting time with AI and so on and so forth. There's a lot of industries that are being disrupted. There's lots of different ways that you can leverage different markets right now. There's lots of different ways that you can use these tools on the internet to benefit you while other people are still doing the generic actions every day, still thinking that they have to do all of the work. There's lots of cool tools out there. There's AI tools to build websites in 30 seconds. There's AI tools to help you edit videos. There's AI tools to help you write fucking copy for anything that you want. I mean, a lot of them are being weaponized for the liberal agenda, and a lot of the answers that you get will be pushed to push the general consensus, or a lot of the answers that you get will be to push the narrative of what they want pushed. You know, we can all sit here and we can complain about the narrative that's getting pushed upon us, or we can understand what's going on in the world and we can move with what is going on with the world. You know, you can't stand up and you can't fight against all of these different forces unless you're somebody of importance. And when you're somebody of importance, you have to do it very, very strategically and carefully. Look at Andrew Tate. All that Andrew Tate has done is motivated and inspired military-aged men. The thing is, by him motivating and inspiring military-aged men, what that has done is made him a fucking target. Because the only way anything will ever change in this world is if military-aged men get together, stand up against the regime. You know, they're trying to make men more feminine and women more masculine. Us men need to take our power. We need to go out there. We need to become better men. We need to decide how we want to act and who we want to be. And then we need to execute on those things. One day, maybe we'll all stand up and we'll get together and we'll be able to fight the forces that be. Maybe one day you'll just wake up in a different fucking reality. Who knows what's going on in the world? The only thing that we know that we can do every day is work towards being the person that we want to be. That is the only fucking thing you can do each and every day, is become who you want to become. So you need to get a pen and fucking paper out. You can go back and look at our other videos. We're going to show you day by day how to map out the life that you want to live, how to set goals and intentions and actually start to execute them. That is the only thing that you can do to become the man that you want to become.